fact, one thing that comes out quite clearly in the book is that Gandhi had such a huge impact in South Africa across all sections that he was often badly beaten, and there were many different sections in South African society who actually physically attacked Gandhi. He suffered quite severe injuries in his struggle, right?
That is so. And there's something very symmetrical about the injuries he suffered, because he suffered them at the hands of almost every community in South Africa, starting with the ruling establishment, the whites, a group of white youth enraged by what Gandhi had said about the conditions in South Africa during a visit in India, set upon him in Durban on the day he landed with his family. And they lynched him. That's the only word that can be used, short of death. And he says that had the wife of the police commissioner, Mrs. Alexander, not interposed and saved him, he would have been killed. He was beaten beyond belief. And then, at the hands of a fellow Indian, when he came to a compromise with the government in the shape of General Smuts, who was a Minister for Interior, on the voluntary offering of fingerprints after the compulsion of fingerprints was offered to be lifted. Smuts said, "We will repeal this law and not make it compulsory if all of you agree to give it voluntary."
You mean this simple agreement to be able to voluntarily offer your fingerprints rather than it being forced and made compulsory? That difference nearly cost Gandhi his life. What actually happened?
A group of Indians, Pathans, who had joined the struggle because Gandhi had said we should never give our fingerprints, they were dismayed and a little puzzled by this compromise. They said, "Yesterday you told us to join the struggle and never give fingerprints, and today you're saying we should give it voluntarily." It was too nuanced for them. Gandhi had come to a very finely nuanced compromise on principle. Coercion had been removed. But Mir Alam hit Gandhi on his head with a truncheon and kicked him and left him for dead because he felt Gandhi had betrayed the cause. And Gandhi says very, very significantly that as he fell, he remembers very dimly that as the blows started, I uttered the words, "Hey Rama." This is in 1909, "Hey Rama," when he had been hit by Mir Alam. Now, he says almost immediately after this that seeing that the assault was committed by Mohammedans, can't even believe how important this is today. Seeing that the assault was committed by Mohammedans, the Hindus might probably feel hurt. This is 1909. Rather, let the blood spilt today cement the two communities indissolubly. Such is my heartfelt prayer. May God grant it. This is said by him with the wound still fresh on his head, on his scalp. Mir Alam should not be conflated with the community. Let my blood spilled today cement the two communities indissolubly.
So there are so many lessons from that episode for us today to learn from and to understand our own history.
So much. The similarities between 1909 and 1948 are extraordinary. One has to just substitute Mir Alam by somebody else. And Hey Rama in both the occasions. Extraordinary. So Mir Alam has literally touched him and turned him into something which can be called a personality beyond himself, and saying something from his pain which is so important even today.